Welcome to Lesson 7 in Unit 14, Bugs and Blooms. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how do other living things grow and survive? In this lesson, students research different insects to create a presentation for the class Insectarium. Students figure out that insects have similar life cycles, but parts of their life cycles are unique. Some insects live in social groups, and variations in traits among insects help them survive. Students make connections to the storyline by sharing how different insects grow and change. There are several opportunities for ELA cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 14 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 to 5 days to complete. You'll begin the Engage by asking what students have learned about insects and plants so far. You'll show students images of organisms and ask if they know any of them. You'll then ask what questions they have about them. You'll revisit the driving question board and add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about how other living things grow and survive. For the Explore portion, you'll ask students questions about museums. You can post and discuss the museum and exhibit vocabulary cards. You'll then talk about insectariums and how they're dedicated solely to bugs. This is a good time to post the Insectarium vocabulary card. You'll tell students that they're going to create their own classroom insectarium and ask what they think would make it engaging. You'll place students into 6 groups. Once they are in their groups, you'll allow them to choose one insect to research. You'll provide students with the Insectarium exhibit, rubric, student journal page, and review the expectations with students. You'll then provide them with the research materials they will need to learn more about their insect. Students can also find additional information online. Students should look for information about the life cycle, variation in traits, and social behavior of their insect. They will use this information to fill out the Insectarium presentation student journal page. This journal page will be used to take notes that can then be transferred to slides, a piece of chart paper, or a model to set up an exhibit. You can encourage students to use visual aids in their presentations. For the Explain portion, you'll give student groups the space to set up their exhibits in the classroom Insectarium. They will conduct a gallery walk to learn about the different insects. As they visit each exhibit, students will record their notes on the Insectarium Field Trip student journal page. For the Elaborate portion, you'll invite students to gather in a circle and share their findings from their Insectarium exploration. Use the provided questions to guide your discussion around the question, how do other living things grow and survive? The goal for this class discussion is for students to share what they noticed when they visited each exhibit in their classroom Insectarium. For the Evaluate portion, you'll assess students according to the Insectarium presentation rubric. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask students, did we answer any of the questions on our driving question board? Are there any questions we haven't answered? Try to wrap up any final questions before the end of the unit. You'll then have students complete the Section 3 summative assessment. By the end of this lesson, students will have used evidence to develop a presentation about the life cycle, traits, and social behavior of different insects. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.